Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So today let's do the monster review for Lin Zi, the Transcendent form. And yeah, I just didn't remember to do it. We did Mundus, I did Mundus right away, and I just forgot about Lin Zi. But let's do that review now for maybe folks that have one but don't know exactly how to use him. And yeah, he is very specialized. But first let's look at his stats. He is a power type, and then like most power types, his speed and his HP are a little bit on the low side, but his attack is pretty insane. Just the base attack, it looks like 32,000, which is very crazy. And then if he hits his gauge, it'll go up to about 38,000, which is insane. And then on top of all that, he has Ethereal Slayer L. And so into Ethereal monsters, he will do almost 100,000 damage with one hit. And that is where the true power of Lin Zi comes out, is with that Slayer. His attack is already super duper high, so you can use him in other quests, but in order to get the most use out of him is against Ethereal bosses. And yeah, I say bosses because really, those are the only characters that are Ethereans. And then, let's see, there are a couple enemies that are Ethereans as well, but they are like mini versions of bosses, like Felmain or Visceron, or they're the crystal things, which or the anti-bounce things, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, he has the one null ability, null warp. But this is not a super big deal for him. He is so slow, and he's a power type, that actually after about 3 hits, he'll just stop. So you can bring him to quests with damage walls. You can aim him so that he'll stop before he hits the damage wall. Same deal for mines. Because he's a pierce, he can just weave through the mines. Gravity barriers are kind of Lin Zi's biggest weak point. Because they'll stop him much more quickly than most other characters. But yeah, looking at his bump combo, he has the energy circle, and then he's got the blast bump combo. And then the energy circle doesn't do great damage, again, unless it's against Ethereans, when it will do 2.5 times the damage, which is about like 15,000, 17,000. Which is about as much as a power type's one-way laser, so that's pretty good. And then he's got the blast bump combo, which kind of surprisingly makes him a good support character for your other monsters. And then his strike shot, which is kind of the thing that a lot of people consider the best aspect of him. It is the homing shot, lots and lots of homing shots. But his homing, he has a lot more than many other characters. And it's a lot more powerful as well. And even if you are not hitting an Etherean, you can still kind of expect maybe 1.5 or even 2 million damage against a non-Etherean boss or enemy. And of course even more against Ethereans. And yeah, the 13 turn, that charges up very quickly. So yeah, kind of a, yeah, very much a specialist character, but very strong. And then as for quests that he's good for, well, he's good for anything with, well, if you tried really hard, you can bring him to any quest, but he's best for Etherean boss quests. So that's like Fenrir, Felmain, Visceron, Yeti, guys like that. Of all of those kind of extreme monsters, I would recommend Fenrir to make a max luck of Fenrir. And then specifically Fenrir X. He's one of my top picks for a max luck, and Lin Zi can make that very easy for you. And then also, pretty famously, he is good for Kushinada 0. And then those anti-bounce things that I talked about, they are Etherean types. So Lin Zi will do extra damage on them. And then in Kushinada 0, since the life of that and then the boss is linked, Lin Zi can do 1 or hopefully 2 attacks on that jewel thing, and then do big damage to the boss. Yeah, I've tried him out in Kushinada 0, and he completely changes the the difficulty of the mission. He's very strong. And then as for Abelberry is good for him. Let's see. As with any character with Slayer, I recommend a Kin Strength Abelberry, since whatever bonus you get from that Kin Strength will be multiplied by the Slayer. You could give him... I don't know if any speed that you could give him would really make a difference, so I wouldn't recommend that. You could put a Cutthroat on him, because like Kushinada 0 has a lot of hit points, so Cutthroat can help you out there. If the HP bothered you, you could give him more HP. And then also with any Transcendent character, I can recommend, what is it? Strike Haste. Since their count is already pretty low, if you can get that down even lower, then that would make that pretty great. So yeah. So those are my initial thoughts about Lin Zi. So let's start the video and then we'll take him to a quest. And then the quest we will take him to is Yeti, which has warps, but a lot of other gimmicks as well. So this can be a good chance to show how he is usable, even with a whole bunch of other gimmicks. Yeah, talk real quick about the other team members I'm using. I'm using Tsukuyomi. She's got Null Warp and a Minesweeper, both of which come in handy here. And then I'm using Kushinada, who has Minesweeper and Null Damage Wall, again, both of which come in handy here. And then finally I'm using Dorothy, and I just got her recently, so I was very interested in trying her out. She has Null Damage Wall and Minesweeper. Okay, so there we saw Lin Zi. He went through the warps fine because of the Null Warp. And then he did slow down a lot going through the little guys, but he did hit the damage wall. So yeah, we took a little bit of damage there. And yeah, Lin Zi doesn't do a lot of damage to mobs, to little guys, because there are so few enemies with Etherean type. And then also because Lin Zi, although he does have high attack, he doesn't get a lot of hits on the little guys. Alright, so here I'm going to try to shoot my way through enemies so that I slow down enough so that I don't hit the damage wall. And yeah, that's what I was talking about, using his slow speed to avoid damage walls. Yeah, so until the boss appears, Lin Zi is kind of going to be a handicap. But once we get to the mini-boss and the boss stages, then he'll start pulling his weight. Okay. But yeah, with Lin Zi's Blast Bump combo, he still has a purpose to serve, even in these pre-boss stages. Okay, so here we'll just attack the zombie. Yeah, that's pretty high attack. Maybe I take that back about not being able to do damage to little guys. And just to talk a little bit more about Dorothy, she has kind of a unique skill set, the Null Damage Wall and the Minesweeper. I feel like a lot of other characters with a similar skill set are bounce characters, or are pierce characters, while Dorothy is a bounce, so that's kind of fun. And then she also has a 12-turn command strike shot, which we can see is already charged up. So yeah, you can use that early and often, so yeah, excited to have her. Alright, let's look at how much damage Lin Zi does here. So that was basically just 2 passes through the weak point, and then about 800,000 damage, so very, very crazy. Okay. And then again, the Etherean Slayer is passive. So that Slayer will go into Lin Zi's Energy Circle bump combo. And then Yeti as a character, she's pretty good. But if you had a max luck of Cthulhu, then maybe you don't need Yeti. Okay, Jesus, 1 million damage. Alrighty. But yeah, the thing about Yeti is that she has a blast bump combo, which Cthulhu does not have. So Yeti can be very useful for that reason. Okay, so here we're going to use Dorothy's Strike Shot, and really the only purpose is to get Rinsu moving. And so yeah, again we can see big damage on Yeti there. And then that's kind of the way you want to think when you're playing Kushinada Zero as well. If you have a command strike shot, the number one priority is to get Rinsu moving so that he can get through the jewels and then the boss to do big damage. Alright. In hindsight, I would have liked to have picked up the mines there, so that Rinsu would not trip them the next turn, but didn't think about it, so oh well. Alright, so big damage we took there, and did not grab the heart, unfortunately. Okay, second to last boss stage. So we're in great position with Dorothy, so we'll just do an attack there. Excellent. Okay, and I think we can finish off the boss here. Not quite, okay. Yeah. Yeah, those laser robots, those are some of my least favorite characters in the game, just because they can do so much damage if your positioning is not good. Okay, let's try to get Rinsu out of this hole here. Not quite, oh well. Yeah. More big damage from the laser robot. Really don't like him. Okay, so there goes the boss. And yeah, just anticipating that attack coming up next, we'll use the strike shot on the enemy there. Okay, and last boss stage. So just like what we did with Dorothy before, we're going to use a Kushinada strike shot in order to move Rinsu right into the boss's weak point. And we'll see how much damage we do there. Whew, 3.5 million. That's crazy. Yeah, the multiplier in Kushinada's strike shot is much higher than Dorothy's, so that might explain the difference in damage there. And then here is Rinsu's strike shot. Don't really get a good idea of how much damage it does since the boss was already down to that. But yeah, very strong. You can trust me about that. Alrighty. So yeah, that was my little review of Rinsu. And yeah, in the right situation, he is super duper powerful. And yeah, if you did not have a lot of max lux already, I would recommend that you use Rinsu to make Fenrir X and possibly Yeti if you wanted a dark, bounce, null damage wall character with a blast bomb combo. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Take care.